On the brink of catastrophic warming. That is the latest warning from the UN Climate Change Report. Scientists saying swift actions have to be taken right now. And Washington Post reporter Sarah Kaplan is joining us now with more on this report. Sarah, thanks for being with us. We know the long-stated goal is to try to keep global warming at 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Specifically, what did the UN set out to learn in this report?
So this report is kind of a synthesis of research that's been published over the past few years. It's kind of like the latest and greatest in climate change science. And what it shows is really that the world is on the brink of crossing that threshold of 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming, which scientists say is kind of the threshold of what is safe, of an amount of warming that we can adapt to and tolerate without having, really catastrophic impacts and vast suffering. And unfortunately, we're likely to cross that threshold within the next 10 years or so, as if we stay on our current path. The scientists looked at thousands of studies with research from all around the world, and they say that we have to almost have emissions by the end of this decade in order to get on a safer path.
Yeah, that is such a slim window, just a mere 10 years. The chair of the report said that the world has these things: the knowledge, the tools, and the resources to achieve the climate goals, but not the will because of the world's dependence on fossil fuels. Did they get into the specifics in that report, how to transition to cleaner fuels?
Yeah, I mean, the report really lays out all of the technologies that are already available, the policies that we know work. And I mean, one of the big takeaways is that the world needs to phase out fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas in order to be able to reach net zero or zero carbon emissions by the middle of the century. But that's not all we have to do. We also have to figure out how to restore ecosystems that pull carbon out of the air, and buffer against climate impacts. And it will really be a global, unprecedented effort, a transformation unlike anything humanity has done before. But the scientists also point out that there are a lot of what they call co-benefits from these transitions. For example, moving away from fossil fuels means less air pollution, and that will probably save millions of lives because a lot of people suffer from lung disease and cardiovascular disease and other illnesses linked to air pollution. So they say that the costs of acting on climate change are actually, or the cost of acting on climate change is lower than the cost of allowing warming to continue. So it's not just, morally the right thing to do and scientifically the necessary thing to do. They also say it's a smart politics and smart economics.
Can you talk? You mentioned the ecosystems. We know ice caps are melting. The weather is changing. Can you point to the specific damage that the UN highlighted as what is happening as a direct result of man's actions or inactions?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is turn on the news,
Hmm.
right? We see, rapid thinning of Arctic ice. We see the collapse of mountain glaciers. We see these really dramatic extreme weather events like the atmospheric rivers in California, the flooding in Pakistan, the drought in East Africa right now that is pushing millions of people to the brink of famine. I mean, the pretty much anywhere in the globe is suffering some sort of climate impact right now. And what the scientists warn is that the longer we wait to act, the longer we wait to reduce emissions, the harder that warming will be adapted to. There are what they call limits to adaptation. So, you can build a seawall, but you can't build a seawall if sea level rises 20 feet.
We'll be looking for any signs of improvement on this front. Sarah Kaplan with the Washington Post, thanks so much.